everybody, this is Kyle Record, and I'm coming to another video review. And today I'll be reviewing the WWE Defining Moments, the King of Strong Style, Shinsuke Nakamura from NXT TakeOver Dallas. I absolutely love this figure. I've been wanting to review this figure for a long time, but I just never got around to reviewing it. And plus, this video is going to be more of a redo type review, because I reviewed this figure back when it first came out, and the review turned out not that good. Just the quality of the video kind of sucked, so I wanted to go back and redo this one. Anyways, so before we take a look at the figure, let's take a look at the awesome packaging first. Now, if you know me, I absolutely love the Defining Moments packaging. I've always loved the design of it. And I agree with Pixel Dan, who was one of my inspirations. I agree with what he said. The design of the box is more like a championship belt. You see, there's the front title plate with the WWE logo and Defining Moments. Of course, the leather strap on the side. We got some pictures of Shinsuke Nakamura and the classic looking wrestling pose. WWE logo. Same thing on the other side, literally exactly the same. And if you can see in the background, you can see Shinsuke's jacket in the background if you can, so that's pretty cool. And then in the back, as you see, there's some of the studs from his outfit. And then the bio on when he wore this attire, so you can pause right there if you want to read. And that's pretty much it for the box. Anyways, so let's open up the King of Strong Style and see what we got. We'll be right back. Alright, so here we have the King of Strong Style, Shinsuke Nakamura. Open up and I have his packaging. Now, after a few years of this figure being around, it still holds up. This is a great figure. Definitely for a first attempt at a Shinsuke Nakamura figure. Which, just in case if you didn't know, this is the first ever Shinsuke Nakamura figure from Mattel. And for a first attempt, I think it's fantastic. Anyways, here's the figure. Anyways, his accessories, he comes with the jacket he wore during the event at NXT TakeOver Dallas when he faced off against Sami Zayn, which that was my favorite WWE match of the year. Not my favorite wrestling match of that year, but my favorite WWE match, or NXT. And he also comes with the shirt here, which he wore quite a few times in Japan, but only a few times in NXT. Which this shirt is a pain in the butt. As you see, there's the little clips on the side here, which you can undo. But on this side, there's none. And I'll show you what I mean by that. Anyways, the jacket comes right off. It's basically just a hole in a peg. Now, if you want to get it off, you have to take his armband off first. Or else, when you take the jacket off, this thing will slide off his arm and it will just go flying. So that way you don't lose it, take it off first. And that comes right off. There we go. And then if you want, you can put this one on by doing this. Just slide it on his arm. And get it over his head, which gotta be careful with that, because I don't want to rip the material. There we go. And then just move the hair out of the way. And then just buckle it, which I'm not gonna do. This shirt's okay. It looks kind of silly if you ask me. Put his armband on. It looks a little silly if you ask me. So if I ever choose to display this figure on my shelf in the entrance gear, I'll put this on. So then take it off. Simple. Just slip it over his head. Whoops. Yeah, this shirt's a pain in the butt. It's very tricky. Oh, it got caught with one of his hair. You know what? There, finally got it off. Sorry about that. I don't know why. Usually this is easy to take off, but for some reason it got stuck on his head or something. Anyways, here's Shinsuke. The likeness is decent. It's a decent likeness, I guess. Now, with some figures, some of these figures, especially the Defining Moments one, like any Shinsuke figure you find with this head sculpt, on most of them, they put too much paint on the eyes. Where basically what they'll do is they'll paint the eye on the eyelid. And same thing on this side. Like as you see, this eye is supposed to be squinted, but they'll paint basically the entire eye on the eyelid to make it look like, oh, he's like wide awake or something like that, instead of just squinting like he is now. And there's definitely perfect evidence of that with another Shinsuke figure I have with this head scan, which was the Basic Series 72, I believe. Like I said, they'll put too much paint on the eye, and it just looks awkward. So it's a decent likeness. Though we have seen better head sculpts, you know, for Shinsuke over the years, but still decent. The one problem I have with the figure already is his bicep is a little bit loose, but that probably could just me taking the jacket on and off. The torso is pretty good. Some people were worried it might be too small or too big, but I think it's really good. I think it's perfect for Shinsuke. His attire is nice. It's just red pants. Now, since this is supposed to be based on NXT TakeOver Dallas when he faced off against Sami Zayn, the belt is supposed to be black. I see they molded it and they put the silver, you know, sparkles on it, but they didn't paint it black, which I thought was stupid. But some have speculated that this is a 2-in-1 figure, where the jacket is supposed to be from TakeOver Dallas, but the attire is from when he won the NXT title against Samoa Joe, which I disagree. So like I said, if this is truly 100% supposed to be based on NXT TakeOver Dallas, paint the belt black. Come on. All right, now just for a couple of comparisons here, here's a couple other Shinsuke Nakamura elites that I have. Which are slightly better, but I still have a soft spot for this figure. Here's the NXT TakeOver Elite that came out about a couple of years ago. Let me take the jacket off real quick. Now, I do have the bicep bands in the container. I just had to take it off so I can put the jacket on. As you see, the head sculpt is definitely a little bit better, but I think I like this one better than this one. I don't know. I think it just looks more like Shinsuke. And finally, here's the Elite Series 63, which the head scans are very similar, but not quite. And finally, here's what I was talking about. Here's the Basic Series 72 Shinsuke. As you see, same head scan, but they put too much paint on the eyes. If I can zoom in real quick. As you see, they put too much paint on the eyes. Most of these defining moment Shinsuke Nakamura figures, you're going to find the head looking like this, with too much paint on the eyes. This is how it's supposed to be, so good thing I got a good one. Also, I think the hair, I think the beard and the hair is a tad bit too dark, but other than that, it's fine. Anyways, articulation is the standard elite articulation you're used to. However, with these certain new molds that this figure has, the articulation's a little bit hindered. And I'll show you what I mean. Anyways, first up, the head can rotate 360. You can kind of look down, but really can't look up. Arms will rotate 360, go in and out. Even though he has a rubber band around his bicep, you can still swivel the elbow. I mean, swivel the bicep, my bad. You rotate the bicep, bend the elbow, rotate the wrist, and the hinge, as usual. Now here's where the articulation kind of gets hindered, and that's the ab crunch. As you see with his abs right here, so when you bend the torso forward, it kind of stops it, so it doesn't go that far forward. So it goes about that far forward. When with most elite figures with the ab crunch, it moves a little bit further forward. But because of his abs, it blocks it. And it can move about that far back, which is good. Of course, swivel at the waist. Legs can go forward about that far. And back to the original position. Rotate at the thigh. Double jointed knee, which I love it when they put double jointed knees on the figures. Especially if you're a guy like Shinsuke and you want to do the Kinshasa. The foot can go forward and back a little bit. As you see, you can kind of see the joint right there. But it does swivel slightly, it rotates slightly. And has the ankle pivot, which I love. This one's a little bit looser, but as you see, because of the space in between the pant and the joint, it does have Like you can definitely move it in further, so you can get a much wider stance. Anyways, overall, this Shinsuke figure is great for a first attempt at an Elite Shinsuke, or just a first attempt at a Shinsuke figure in general. This is a great figure from Mattel. I absolutely love this figure. It still holds up after a few years. Man, this figure doesn't stand up that well. It was overall great figure. So I would say if you're a Shinsuke Nakamura fan, I would definitely recommend picking up this figure if you can get it for a good price. I have noticed this figure is a little pricey on eBay. I think I found this figure in the box on eBay for I think about $100, maybe more. I got mine from Ringside Collectibles when it first came out, so I was able to get a good price for it. So like I said, if you're a Shinsuke Nakamura fan, if you can find this figure for a good price, definitely pick it up if you can. Only issues with it is, like I said, the hair is just a tad bit too dark, and I wish they could have painted the belt black, since this is based on NXT TakeOver Dallas when he faced off against Sami Zayn, and his belt was black in that match. And I actually watched it about last night just to confirm it for this video. Anyways, that's about it. So I'll give this figure a solid 9 out of 10. So definitely recommend this figure if you can find it for a good price, and if you're a Shinsuke Nakamura fan. So definitely pick up. Anyways, thanks for watching, guys. Please rate, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to follow me on social media. Like my Facebook fan page. Follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Links are down below. Check those out, and you can message me anytime you want. And I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Anyways, thanks for watching, guys. Please rate, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys next time. Take care, guys. Bye. Kinshasa!